Chosen ones, this moment right now is not an accident. The fact that you're reading these exact words at this precise instant means heaven has positioned you here for a reason. Today, I'm going to reveal something that will fundamentally change how you understand your power, your purpose, and what's happening in the spiritual realm right now. You're about to discover why they call it blue power, why it's activating inside you at this very moment, and most importantly, why those who opposed you actually triggered the very thing they feared most. Listen carefully, because what I'm about to share isn't theory or philosophy. This is revelation. This is the truth that's been hidden from you your entire life, and it's surfacing now because you're finally ready to receive it. You've been prepared through every single trial, every betrayal, every moment when you felt alone in a crowded room. All of it was training, all of it was necessary, and all of it led you to this exact moment. The blue power isn't something you learn, it's something you remember. It's been dormant inside you since birth, waiting for the precise moment when your spirit would be strong enough to handle it. That moment is now, right now. As you read these words, something ancient within you is stirring. You can feel it in your chest, that subtle shift in your energy. That's not imagination, that's activation. Let me tell you what blue power actually is, because most people misunderstand it completely. Blue power is the divine frequency of truth operating through a human vessel. It's the same energy that flows through Archangel Michael's sword of justice. It's the vibration that separates light from darkness without effort, without force, simply by existing. When you carry blue power, you don't fight battles the way others do. You don't need to shout, defend yourself, or prove anything to anyone. Your presence alone reorganizes everything around you back into divine order. Think about your childhood for a moment. Go back to those early years when you were 5, 6, 7 years old. While other children were playing carefree games, completely absorbed in the moment, you were different, you were watching. You were sensing things that others couldn't see. You'd walk into a room and immediately feel the tension between adults, even when they were smiling. You'd know when someone was lying before they finished their sentence. You'd feel danger approaching before anything visible occurred. Your parents might have called you sensitive. Teachers might have said you were too serious. Other kids might have thought you were weird. But the truth is, you were already connected to something they couldn't perceive. Your spirit was already tuned to a frequency that most people never access in their entire lifetime. That wasn't a problem. That was your gift. That was the first sign of your blue power beginning to form. I want you to recall a specific memory from your childhood, a moment when you felt utterly alone, even if you were surrounded by people. Maybe it was during recess when everyone else was running and screaming with joy, but you found yourself sitting under a tree, looking up at the clouds, wondering why you felt so different. Or perhaps it was during a family gathering when all the cousins were playing together, but you quietly slipped away to a corner, observing everyone, feeling like you were watching life from behind glass. That sensation of being separated from the world wasn't loneliness. It was awakening. Your soul was already recognizing that you weren't meant to blend in with the crowd. You were meant to stand apart. You were meant to see what others miss. You were meant to carry a frequency that would eventually disturb every false thing around you. While other children worried about trivial things like who had the coolest toy or who got picked first for the team, you were grappling with questions that most adults never even consider. You'd lie awake at night, wondering about existence itself. Why are we here? What happens after death? Why do people hurt each other? These weren't casual thoughts. These were the questions of a soul that came here with a mission far beyond the ordinary. Your teenage years intensified everything. That's when the weight of being chosen became almost unbearable. While your peers were consumed with social status, dating drama, and fitting in, you were fighting an internal war that no one else could see. You'd look around the cafeteria, the classroom, the school hallways, and feel like an alien observing a foreign species. They seemed so certain about their lives, so confident in their superficial pursuits. And you? You were drowning in questions, in doubts, in a profound sense that nothing about this world made sense. The worst part wasn't the confusion. The worst part was the isolation. You couldn't talk to anyone about what you were experiencing because they simply wouldn't understand. When you tried to share your thoughts, people looked at you like you were overthinking everything. Just relax, they'd say. Stop being so serious. Have some fun. but you couldn't turn it off. Your spirit wouldn't let you pretend that shallow things mattered when you could sense there was something much deeper happening beneath the surface of reality. During those years, you probably tried to fit in. You tried to care about the same things everyone else cared about. You attempted to laugh at the same jokes, get excited about the same trends, participate in the same meaningless conversations. But it felt like wearing a costume that didn't fit. Every time you forced yourself to act normal, something inside you screamed in protest. That wasn't depression. That wasn't social anxiety. That was your authentic self refusing to be suppressed. Now, let me tell you what was actually happening during all those difficult years. While you thought you were just struggling to survive, heaven was building something inside you. Every moment of isolation was forging your inner strength. Every time you felt misunderstood, your discernment was sharpening. Every night you cried yourself to sleep feeling broken and lost, your spirit was being refined in ways that can't be explained with words. You were being prepared for blue power, but you couldn't receive it then. Your vessel wasn't ready. You had to be tested first. You had to be pushed to your limits and beyond. You had to face darkness, betrayal, loss, and pain. Not as punishment, but as preparation. Because blue power isn't given to the comfortable or the sheltered. It's given to those who have walked through fire and emerged with their spirit intact. Fast forward to your adult years. That's when things started shifting in ways you couldn't ignore anymore. You began noticing patterns that others missed. You'd meet someone new and immediately sense their true intentions, even when their words and actions seemed perfectly fine on the surface. Days later, weeks later, sometimes months later, the truth would emerge exactly as you sensed it. People around you would be shocked, but you weren't. You already knew. You started experiencing what others might call coincidences, but you recognized them as something more. You'd think about someone you hadn't spoken to in years, and within hours they'd contact you. You'd have a dream about a specific situation, and days later, it would manifest in waking life. You'd feel a sudden urge to avoid a certain route or cancel particular plans, only to discover later that doing so prevented disaster. These weren't random occurrences. These were confirmations. Heaven was showing you that your connection to the divine realm was strengthening. Your blue power was beginning to activate. The veil between the physical and spiritual was thinning for you, allowing you to perceive things that remain hidden to the majority of humanity. But here's where it gets really interesting. Around the same time your power started awakening, opposition increased dramatically. People you trusted turned against you seemingly overnight. Friendships that felt solid for years suddenly crumbled for reasons you couldn't understand. Family members who always supported you became critical and distant. Romantic relationships that seemed meant to be fell apart in devastating ways. You probably wondered what you did wrong. You probably questioned yourself relentlessly. You probably spent countless hours trying to figure out how to fix things, how to win people back, how to restore what was lost. But nothing worked. The harder you tried, the worse things became. And that's when the real pain hit. Not just the pain of loss, but the confusion of not understanding why it was all happening. Now let me reveal the truth that will change everything. Those people didn't leave your life randomly. They were removed. Not by you, but by a force far greater than any human will. They had to go because they couldn't exist in the same space as your emerging blue power. Their frequency was incompatible with yours. They represented old patterns, old thinking, old energy that would have prevented your full activation. Think about it carefully. The people who betrayed you, the ones who lied about you, the ones who abandoned you when you needed them most. What did they all have in common? They operated from fear, from ego, from darkness disguised as light. They smiled to your face while undermining you behind your back. They claimed to care while secretly resenting everything you represented. They wanted you in their life, but only if you remained small, manageable, controllable. Your blue power threatened them on a soul level. They couldn't articulate it consciously, but their spirit recognized what you carried. They sensed that your light would eventually expose their shadows, and rather than doing the difficult work of facing themselves, they chose to attack you instead. They gossiped about you. They twisted your words. They turned others against you. They did everything possible to diminish your spirit and dim your light. But here's what they didn't understand. Here's what they couldn't have known. Every attack they launched against you, every lie they spread, every bit of darkness they sent your way, it didn't weaken you. It strengthened you. It forced your blue power to activate faster and more completely than it would have if you'd been left in peace. They literally provoked the very thing they feared. By attacking you, they triggered your awakening. By trying to destroy you, they ensured your elevation. By sending darkness toward you, they caused your light to burn brighter than ever before. That's what they asked for it truly means. They called forth divine justice through their own actions. They summoned the very energy that would expose everything they tried to hide. You need to understand something crucial right now. Blue power operates on a specific spiritual law. Energy returns to its source. Every thought, every word, every action carries a frequency, and that frequency always completes its circuit. When someone sends negative energy your way, especially repeatedly and intentionally, they create a spiritual debt that must be balanced, not by you. You don't need to do anything. The universe itself handles the balancing because that's how divine order works. For months, maybe even years, you watched them seemingly prosper while you struggled. You saw them get promoted while you got overlooked. You watched them receive recognition while your contributions were ignored. You witnessed them surrounded by people celebrating them while you sat alone, wondering what you did to deserve such isolation. And during all that time, you probably questioned whether being good, being honest, being spiritual actually mattered at all. But what you couldn't see was what was building in the spiritual realm. Every injustice was being recorded. Every lie was being documented. Every bit of darkness they sent your way was accumulating, creating a debt that would eventually need to be paid. And the whole time, your blue power was growing stronger, preparing for the moment when divine order would be restored. That moment is arriving now, right now. Some of you are already seeing it. The people who attacked you are starting to experience turbulence in their own lives. Relationships they thought were solid are falling apart. Opportunities they counted on are disappearing. Problems are emerging from nowhere and they can't understand why. Others are experiencing something even more profound, a sudden inability to find peace. They're restless, anxious, plagued by guilt they can't shake. They think about you constantly even though they claim they don't care. Your energy haunts them because their spirit knows they touched something sacred and paid for it with spiritual consequences. This isn't about revenge. This isn't about you gloating over their downfall. This is about divine justice. This is about the universe restoring balance after a period of imbalance. This is about blue power demonstrating its fundamental nature. Truth always surfaces, darkness always exposes itself, and those who carry the light are always eventually vindicated. But vindication isn't your reward, it's just confirmation. Your real reward is the transformation that occurred within you during the difficult season. The strength you didn't know you possessed until you were forced to find it. The discernment you developed by being deceived. The self-reliance you cultivated through betrayal. The unshakable faith you forged in the fire of isolation. That's your treasure. That's what you gained from everything you endured. You're not the same person you were before this journey began. You've evolved in ways that can't be measured or explained. Your energy field has expanded. Your frequency has elevated. Your connection to the divine has deepened. Your ability to perceive truth has sharpened to the point where you can sense deception before it fully forms. Your blue power is no longer dormant. It's active, awake, and operating at a level that would have overwhelmed you if you'd received it earlier. Now let me teach you how to consciously work with this power, because activation is just the beginning. Mastery requires understanding and practice. Blue power thrives in stillness. It doesn't function in chaos, anxiety, or emotional reactivity. When you're calm, your power multiplies. When you're centered, your energy becomes magnetic. When you're grounded in truth, you become unstoppable. Here's a practice I want you to start doing every single morning before you check your phone, before you talk to anyone, before you allow the external world to influence your internal state. Sit quietly for just 3 minutes. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. As you inhale, visualize a brilliant blue flame igniting in the center of your chest. See it glowing brighter with each breath. Feel warmth spreading through your entire body. As you exhale, imagine any confusion, any doubt, any heaviness dissolving into that flame and burning away completely. While you maintain this visualization, speak these words silently in your mind. I align with divine truth. I release all confusion. I stand in my blue power. Repeat this 3 times. That's it. 3 minutes, 3 repetitions. But do it consistently every single morning without exception, and watch what happens in your life over the next 30 days. You'll notice changes almost immediately. The first thing you'll experience is a profound sense of calm that wasn't there before. It's not the absence of challenges. Challenges will still come, but your reaction to them will transform completely. Where you used to panic, you'll pause. Where you used to doubt, you'll discern. Where you used to react emotionally, you'll respond with wisdom. That's blue power in action. The second change you'll notice is in how others respond to you. People will start treating you differently without any conscious change in your behavior. Some will become inexplicably drawn to you, seeking your presence, your advice, your energy. They won't even know why they feel compelled to be near you. It's because your frequency is now broadcasting a signal that their soul recognizes as authentic light. Others will become uncomfortable around you for reasons they can't articulate. They'll make excuses to avoid you. They'll suddenly become busy whenever you reach out. They'll distance themselves gradually or abruptly. Don't take it personally. It's not rejection. It's frequency incompatibility. Their energy can't coexist with yours anymore, and rather than doing the work to elevate themselves, they're choosing to retreat. Let them go. They're not meant for this phase of your journey. The third change, and this one is profound, is that synchronicities will intensify dramatically. Numbers will appear constantly. 111, 333, 444, 777. You'll see them on clocks, license plates, receipts, random screens. These aren't coincidences. These are confirmations from the spiritual realm that you're aligned with your divine path. Each number carries a specific message, a specific frequency, a specific validation that heaven is communicating directly with you. When you see 111, it means manifestation energy is active. Your thoughts are creating your reality at an accelerated rate, so guard your mind carefully. When you see 333, it means divine alignment and spiritual expansion. You're ascending to a higher level of consciousness. When you see 444, it means angelic protection surrounds you. You're completely safe, completely covered, completely guided. When you see 777, it means spiritual awakening and enlightenment. You're stepping into your highest timeline, your greatest potential, your truest self. If you're seeing these numbers repeatedly right now, drop a comment below with whichever number has been appearing most frequently in your life. 111, 333, 444, or 777. Let the universe know you're receiving the message. Let heaven know you're ready to walk in your full power. This isn't superstition. This is spiritual communication, and your active participation strengthens the connection. Now, let's talk about something that many people overlook: your physical body during this activation process. You might be experiencing strange sensations lately, sudden waves of heat moving through your chest or down your spine, tingling in your hands and feet, especially during meditation or prayer. Pressure at the center of your forehead, right between your eyebrows. These aren't medical issues, these are physical manifestations of spiritual upgrades occurring in your energy field. The heat you feel is your blue power burning through old energetic blockages. The tingling is your chakras, particularly your throat and third eye, activating and aligning with higher frequencies. The pressure on your forehead is your spiritual sight opening more fully. You're literally developing the ability to see beyond the physical realm into the spiritual dimension, where truth exists without distortion. You might also notice changes in your sleep patterns. Some nights you'll sleep deeper than ever before, entering states of rest so profound that you wake feeling reborn. Other nights you'll barely sleep at all, lying awake with your mind crystal clear, receiving downloads of information, insights, understanding that seem to come from nowhere and everywhere simultaneously. Both are necessary. Deep sleep allows your physical body to integrate the new frequencies, Wakeful nights allow your consciousness to receive direct transmission from the divine. Pay attention to your dreams during this period. They're not random images from your subconscious. They're messages, warnings, guidance from the spiritual realm. Keep a journal next to your bed. The moment you wake, before you do anything else, write down whatever fragments you remember. Don't try to interpret them immediately, just record them. Over time, patterns will emerge. You'll start seeing predictions that come true days or weeks after you dreamed them. You'll receive solutions to problems you haven't even encountered yet. This is your blue power extending your consciousness beyond linear time. Your appetite might change too. You might find yourself craving more water than usual. Drink it. Your body is purifying itself, flushing out lower frequencies, making room for the higher vibration to settle permanently. You might lose interest in certain foods, especially heavy, processed, or artificially flavored items. That's your body rejecting anything that would lower your frequency. Listen to it, honor it. Feed yourself like the sacred vessel you are. You might also feel drawn to nature in ways you haven't before. Trees, water, mountains, open sky. These aren't leisure preferences, these are spiritual necessities. Natural environments carry pure frequency, untainted by human drama and artificial interference. When you spend time in nature, your energy field automatically recalibrates to match the Earth's natural rhythm. You'll walk into the forest, stressed and anxious. You'll walk out centered and clear. That's not relaxation, that's realignment. Speaking of environment, let's talk about your physical space, your home, your bedroom, anywhere you spend significant time. These spaces must match your new frequency. Look around right now. Is your environment cluttered? Is it filled with objects that carry memories of your past? Is it decorated with things that no longer resonate with who you're becoming? It's time to cleanse your space, not just physically but energetically. Start by removing anything that carries negative memory or energy. That gift from the person who betrayed you, that photograph from the relationship that ended badly, that object you've held onto for years out of obligation rather than joy. Get rid of it. Don't store it, don't save it, release it completely. Every item in your space should either serve a practical purpose or bring you genuine peace. Everything else is energetic clutter weighing you down. After you've cleared the physical items, cleanse the space itself. Open every window and let fresh air flow through completely. Burn sage, palo santo, or incense in every room, paying special attention to corners where stagnant energy accumulates. As you do this, speak blessings over your space. This home is filled with divine light. Only truth exists here. Peace dwells in every corner. Love flows through every room. Your words carry creative power now. Use them intentionally. Consider the sounds filling your space too. What music do you listen to? What shows do you watch? What conversations happen in your home? All of it affects your frequency. If the music is aggressive, chaotic, or filled with lyrics about violence, betrayal, and darkness, it's lowering your vibration every time you hear it. If the shows you watch are centered on conflict, deception, and cruelty, even if it's fictional, you're absorbing that frequency into your energy field. If the conversations in your home are complaints, gossip, and negativity, you're marinating in toxicity. Replace all of it. Fill your space with sounds that elevate, music with harmonious frequencies, shows that inspire, educate, or genuinely entertain without darkness. Conversations focused on growth, gratitude, and possibility. Your environment shapes your energy, and your energy determines your reality. You can't maintain blue power while surrounding yourself with low-frequency input. It's spiritually impossible. Now let's address something critical: boundaries. This is where many people struggle because they confuse spiritual love with unlimited access. They think being chosen means being available to everyone, helping everyone, saving everyone. That's not how blue power works. Blue power requires sacred boundaries. It requires discernment about who gets access to your time, your energy, your presence. Not everyone deserves access to you. I'll say it again because it's crucial. Not everyone deserves access to you. Just because someone asks for your help doesn't mean you're required to give it. Just because someone wants your attention doesn't mean you're obligated to provide it. Just because someone claims they need you doesn't mean you're responsible for their well-being. You can love people from a distance. You can wish them well without involving yourself in their chaos. You can have compassion without sacrificing your peace. This isn't selfishness. This is wisdom. This is self-preservation. This is honoring the sacred energy you carry by refusing to pour it into vessels that leak. How do you know who deserves access? Simple. Pay attention to how you feel around them. Do you feel energized or drained? Do you feel elevated or diminished? Do you feel seen and valued or used and depleted? Your body tells you the truth, even when your mind tries to rationalize staying connected to people who are slowly poisoning your spirit. If someone consistently leaves you feeling exhausted, anxious, or depleted, they're drawing from your energy without reciprocating. That's an energetic vampire, and you must create distance regardless of your history together, regardless of their excuses, regardless of their guilt trips. Your blue power is too precious to waste on people who refuse to do their own spiritual work. Here's what boundary setting looks like in practice. Someone calls asking for advice about the same problem they've asked about 50 times before, never taking your guidance, always returning to complain again. You say, "I care about you, but I've given you everything I have to offer on this situation. I'm not available to discuss it anymore." That's not cruel. That's clear. That's powerful. Someone invites you to an event, but something in your spirit says no. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to provide elaborate excuses. You simply say, "I appreciate the invitation, but I won't be able to attend." If they push for reasons, you repeat, "It's just not going to work for me." That's a complete sentence. That's a complete boundary. Someone crosses a line, violates your trust, or disrespects you, then comes back later as if nothing happened. You address it directly. "What happened last time wasn't okay with me. For me to continue this relationship, I need to know that won't happen again." If they get defensive, make excuses, or turn it around on you, you have your answer. They're not ready to honor your boundaries, which means they're not ready to remain in your life. Boundaries aren't walls, they're gates. They allow the right energy in while keeping harmful energy out. When you establish firm boundaries, you'll lose people. Some will leave immediately, others will test you repeatedly, trying to find loopholes, trying to manipulate you into lowering your standards. Stand firm. Every person who leaves because you set boundaries is making room for someone who will honor them naturally. Now let's talk about forgiveness, because this is where things get spiritually complex. You've heard, forgive and forget your entire life. You've been told that holding grudges keeps you in bondage. You've been taught that forgiveness means reconciliation. None of that is completely accurate. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting what happened. Forgiveness doesn't mean pretending you weren't hurt. Forgiveness doesn't mean allowing the person back into your life as if nothing occurred. Forgiveness means releasing the energetic cord that keeps you bound to the pain. It means refusing to let what they did continue controlling your present moment. You can forgive someone completely and never speak to them again. You can release all resentment while maintaining permanent distance. You can wish them well on their journey while ensuring that journey doesn't intersect with yours. Forgiveness is an internal spiritual transaction. It's between you and the divine. The other person doesn't even need to know you've forgiven them. Here's a forgiveness practice that actually works. Close your eyes and visualize the person who hurt you. See them standing in front of you. Now, see a cord of energy connecting your heart to theirs. That cord represents the ongoing energetic connection created by unresolved pain. In your mind, take a pair of golden scissors. Cut that cord cleanly. Watch both ends glow bright blue, then seal themselves. See the person walking away from you, getting smaller and smaller until they disappear completely. As you do this, say out loud or in your mind, "I release you. I release the pain. I release the connection. You are free. I am free. We are complete." You might need to repeat this practice multiple times for the same person. That's normal. Deep wounds require multiple cleanings, but each time you do it, you'll feel lighter. Each time, you'll feel more free. Each time, you're reclaiming power you unknowingly gave away. True forgiveness doesn't mean you approve of what they did. It doesn't mean you would allow it to happen again. It means you're choosing peace over bitterness, freedom over bondage, your future over their past. That's blue power in its most refined form, the strength to bless and release simultaneously. Let me address something that's been troubling many of you: the spiritual attacks that intensify as your blue power activates. You've been experiencing strange dreams where you're being chased, attacked, or trapped. You've been waking at specific times in the night, usually between 3 and 4 a.m., feeling heavy pressure on your chest or sensing a presence in the room. You've been having unexplained anxiety that comes from nowhere and disappears just as mysteriously. These aren't signs of mental illness. These aren't coincidences. These are actual spiritual attacks targeting you specifically because of the light you carry. Dark forces recognize blue power just as clearly as divine forces do. The difference is, dark forces fear it because it threatens their operation. When you walk in blue power, you expose lies automatically. You disrupt manipulation simply by being present. You shine light into dark corners without even trying. That makes you a threat to anything operating in darkness. The attacks will come in various forms, sometimes through dreams designed to create fear, sometimes through sudden intrusive thoughts that don't match your usual mental patterns, sometimes through physical symptoms like unexplained exhaustion, random pains, or sleep disturbances, sometimes through external chaos, where multiple problems emerge simultaneously, overwhelming you before you can process any single issue. Here's how you protect yourself. First, understand that blue power is your shield. You don't need complicated rituals or expensive crystals or special objects. You need faith, awareness, and consistent spiritual practice. Every morning when you do your 3-minute blue power activation, you're creating an energetic shield that lasts throughout the day. But you need to reinforce it. Before you sleep each night, visualize that same blue flame expanding from your heart until it fills your entire room, creating a sphere of divine protection around your bed. Speak these words: I am covered in divine light. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. No attack sent toward me can penetrate my shield. I sleep in perfect peace under heaven's protection. Then release all worry and sleep. If you wake during the night feeling attacked, don't panic. Fear is exactly what the attack wants to generate, because fear lowers your frequency and weakens your shield. Instead, become still. Take 3 deep breaths. With each exhale, imagine breathing out blue light that fills the entire room. Then speak with authority. I rebuke every dark force in the name of the Most High. This space is sanctified. Only divine light exists here. You have no power over me. Leave now. The attack will cease immediately because you've invoked your spiritual authority. During the day, if you suddenly feel heavy, anxious, or attacked mentally, pause whatever you're doing. Place your hand over your heart. Close your eyes if possible. Take 3 deep breaths. See that blue flame in your chest burning brighter with each inhale. Then speak silently. I stand in my blue power. I am protected. I am covered. I am unshakable. The heaviness will lift within seconds. Remember this crucial truth. Attacks are actually confirmations. Dark forces don't waste energy attacking people who pose no threat. The fact that you're being targeted means your light is powerful enough to worry them. Every attack proves you're on the right path. Every spiritual assault confirms you're carrying something they desperately want to extinguish. But they can't. They never could. They never will. Your blue power isn't dependent on your feelings, your circumstances, or even your faith level on any given day. It's who you are at a fundamental level. It can't be taken, stolen, or destroyed. It can only be suppressed through your own doubt and fear. As long as you remember who you are, as long as you stand in your truth, as long as you maintain your connection to the divine, your blue power remains active and invincible. Now let me show you how to use your blue power proactively, not just defensively. This is where most people miss the greater purpose. They learn to protect themselves, but they never learn to create with their power. Blue power isn't just about surviving spiritual warfare. It's about shaping reality through divine alignment. Your words carry creative force now. Every sentence you speak is a declaration that ripples through the spiritual realm before manifesting in the physical. That's why you must speak with intention, precision, and absolute certainty. Stop saying things like, I hope, maybe, or we'll see. Start declaring, it is, it will, I am, Instead of, "I hope things get better," say, "Things are improving right now." Instead of, "Maybe I'll find the right opportunity," say, "The perfect opportunity is seeking me." Instead of, "We'll see what happens," say, "Divine order is unfolding perfectly." You're not lying or pretending. You're speaking from the realm where it already exists, calling it forward into physical manifestation. This is how conscious creation works. The spiritual realm operates outside linear time. What you desire already exists there, waiting to be pulled into physical reality through your focused attention and spoken word. When you declare something with absolute certainty, rooted in blue power, you're not hoping for the future. You're acknowledging present spiritual reality that hasn't yet materialized physically. Try this practice starting today. Every morning after your 3-minute blue power activation, speak 3 declarations out loud. Make them specific, present tense, and absolute. Examples: I am divinely guided in every decision. My perfect path unfolds effortlessly. Abundance flows to me from expected and unexpected sources. Say each declaration 3 times with full conviction. Then release them completely. Don't spend the day wondering when or how they'll manifest. Just trust that speaking them activated their manifestation process. You'll start seeing results within days. Small synchronicities at first, unexpected messages, surprise opportunities, chance encounters that lead somewhere meaningful. These aren't coincidences. These are your declarations materializing. As you witness small manifestations, your faith will strengthen. As your faith strengthens, your declarations become more powerful. As your declarations become more powerful, bigger manifestations occur. This is the upward spiral of conscious creation through blue power. But here's the key that most people miss. Your external declarations must match your internal state. You can't speak abundance while thinking scarcity. You can't declare peace while harboring resentment. You can't call forth divine relationships while still energetically attached to toxic people from your past. Internal and external must align for manifestation to occur. That's why the inner work is actually the real work. Cleansing your thoughts, healing your wounds, releasing your past, forgiving those who hurt you. These aren't separate from manifestation. These are manifestation. Every bit of internal clutter you clear creates space for what you desire to enter. Every old pattern you release allows a new pattern to form. Every low frequency you transform elevates your overall vibration, making you magnetic to higher experiences. Think of yourself as a radio station. You're constantly broadcasting a signal. That signal is your overall energetic frequency, determined by your thoughts, emotions, words, and actions. Like attracts like. If you're broadcasting anger, you attract conflict. If you're broadcasting victim mentality, you attract people who victimize you. If you're broadcasting scarcity, you attract lack. But when you activate your blue power and maintain it through consistent practice, your broadcast frequency changes completely. You start emanating truth, peace, and divine authority. Suddenly you attract honest people. You attract peaceful situations. You attract opportunities that align with your highest good. This isn't magic, this is spiritual physics. This is how energy works. Within the next 72 hours, you're going to notice something significant. A shift in your external reality that confirms everything I've told you. It might come as a message from someone you haven't heard from in a long time. It might come as an unexpected financial blessing. It might come as a sudden resolution to a problem that's been plaguing you. It might come as a clarity you've been seeking for months or years. When this confirmation arrives, and it will, recognize it for what it is. Heaven validating that you're aligned with your blue power. It's the universe saying, yes, you understand now, yes, you're ready. Yes, everything is unfolding as it should. Don't dismiss it as luck or coincidence. Receive it as divine confirmation. Also, within the next week, someone from your past is going to attempt contact. Someone who betrayed you, abandoned you, or mistreated you. They're going to reach out seemingly casually, as if no time has passed, as if nothing happened between you. This isn't random. Your elevated frequency is triggering their conscience. Your blue power is illuminating their guilt. They're feeling pulled to make amends, though they probably won't frame it that way directly. How you respond to this contact is crucial. Don't ignore it out of pettiness. Don't engage out of loneliness. Respond from your centered place of power. If their message seems genuine, if they're actually acknowledging what occurred and taking responsibility, you can acknowledge their words. But you are not obligated to restore the relationship. You can receive their apology without granting access to your life again. You can forgive without forgetting. You can wish them well without rekindling connection. If their message is casual, as if nothing happened, attempting to slip back into your life without addressing what they did, respond simply, "I appreciate you reaching out. I've moved forward from that season of my life and I'm at peace with everything that happened. I wish you well on your journey." Then stop engaging, don't explain, don't elaborate. Don't allow them to pull you into conversation that depletes your energy. That simple response is complete. This reconnection attempt isn't about them. It's about testing your boundaries. It's about seeing if you've truly transformed or if you're still operating from your old patterns. If you immediately welcome them back, ignoring the past, you've failed the test. If you respond with anger and bitterness, rehashing old wounds, you've failed differently but still failed. The correct response is peaceful, clear, boundaried, and final. That's blue power in action. Before this month ends, you're going to receive an opportunity that seems too good to be true. It might be a job offer. It might be a relationship possibility. It might be an invitation to collaborate on something significant. Your first instinct will be to question it, to look for the catch, to wonder what you're missing. This is old programming trying to protect you based on past pain, but your discernment will tell you something different. When you sit quietly with the opportunity, when you check in with your spirit rather than your fearful mind, you'll feel a calm certainty. That's how you'll know it's divine, not deceptive. Divine opportunities feel peaceful, spacious, right? Deceptive opportunities feel urgent, pressured, slightly off even when they seem perfect on the surface. Trust your discernment. If the opportunity feels divinely aligned, accept it without hesitation. Don't negotiate yourself down. Don't doubt your worthiness. Don't ask for time to think about it unless you genuinely need information. Your old self would have hesitated, questioned, doubted. Your blue power activated self recognizes divine alignment and moves decisively. If you've been watching for a specific sign that you're on the right path, that sign will appear within 30 days. It will be unmistakable. It will be exactly what you've been asking for, possibly down to specific details you mentioned in prayer or meditation. When it appears, receive it with gratitude and recognition. This is heaven responding directly to your frequency, confirming that you're heard, you're seen, you're guided. Some of you have been asking the same question repeatedly. When will my life change? When will things get better? When will I see the manifestation of everything I've been working toward? The answer is, it's changing right now. It's not coming. It's here. The transformation you've been seeking isn't ahead of you. It's already occurring within you. And as it continues unfolding internally, the external will have no choice but to mirror it. You're going to look back 6 months from now and barely recognize the person you are today. Not because you became someone different, but because you finally became who you actually are. All the masks will be gone. All the pretending will be finished. All the trying to fit in will be over. You'll stand in your authentic power, comfortable in your own energy, unshakable in your truth. People will comment on it. You seem different, they'll say. Something about you has changed. I can't quite put my finger on it, but you're not the same. They won't understand that what they're sensing is your blue power fully activated, operating consistently, radiating outward without effort or intention. You've become the frequency itself. You're no longer trying to be powerful, you simply are. The old version of you carried pain like a heavy coat, wearing it everywhere, letting it define every interaction. The current version of you has released that weight. You've transmuted pain into wisdom. You've transformed wounds into gateways. You've alchemized suffering into strength. This is the true meaning of mastery, using everything that happened to you as fuel for your evolution rather than an excuse for your stagnation. Let me tell you what's going to happen in your relationships moving forward. Everyone you encounter from this point will fall into one of 3 categories. The first category is those who immediately recognize and honor your frequency. These are fellow light carriers, operating on similar or complementary frequencies. When you meet them, there's an instant recognition, a silent acknowledgement that needs no words. These are your tribe. These are your collaborators. These are the people who will walk with you through this next phase. The second category is those who are drawn to your light, but don't yet understand why. They feel better around you but can't articulate why. They seek your presence, your advice, your energy. These are people you're meant to influence, to guide, to help awaken. Your role with them is to be a living example of what's possible when someone fully embodies their truth. You don't need to preach at them or try to convince them of anything. Your presence alone plants seeds that will bloom when they're ready. The third category is those who sense your light and feel threatened by it. They'll criticize you, try to diminish you, or simply avoid you altogether. These are people still operating in lower frequencies who aren't ready for the truth your presence represents. Don't take their rejection personally. It's not about you, it's about their own unreadiness. Bless them silently and keep moving. You're not for everyone, you're not meant to be. Your life purpose is becoming clearer now, isn't it? You're starting to understand why you went through everything you experienced. You're beginning to see how each piece of your story fits into a larger picture. That confusing season of isolation. You were being separated from distractions so you could hear your calling more clearly. That painful betrayal. You were learning discernment you'd need for future decisions. That financial struggle. You were discovering that your worth isn't connected to your bank account. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was random. Every single experience, every single person, every single challenge was perfectly designed to prepare you for what you're stepping into now. You couldn't have received this mission in your old state. You weren't ready. You needed to be refined first, tested first, proven first. Not to earn your calling, but to develop the capacity to handle it. Your blue power comes with responsibility. You're not just carrying it for yourself, you're carrying it for everyone your life will touch. Every person who encounters your energy will be affected by it, whether they realize it consciously or not. That's why you must steward this power with humility, with integrity, with constant awareness of the impact you're having. This doesn't mean walking on eggshells, constantly worried about how others perceive you. It means operating from your highest self consistently. It means speaking truth even when it's uncomfortable. It means maintaining your boundaries even when people pressure you to lower them. It means choosing integrity over convenience, truth over popularity, your spiritual health over others' comfort. You're going to face moments where the easy path conflicts with the right path. Your old self would have chosen easy without hesitation. Your blue power activated self chooses right, regardless of difficulty. This is how you prove you're worthy of the gifts you've been given. Not by being perfect, but by consistently choosing alignment even when it costs you something in the moment. As we come toward the conclusion of this revelation, I want you to understand that what I've shared isn't just information, it's activation. The very act of reading these words, of receiving this truth, of recognizing yourself in this message, has triggered changes in your energy field that are irreversible. You can't unknow what you now know. You can't go back to unconscious living. You've been activated, and there's no deactivation switch. Some people will wish they could go back to ignorance, to the simpler time before awareness demanded responsibility. But not you. You're not someone who chooses comfortable lies over uncomfortable truths. You're someone who faces reality head-on, who embraces transformation even when it's painful, who walks into fire knowing you'll emerge refined rather than destroyed. That courage is rare. That willingness to continuously evolve is precious. That commitment to truth regardless of cost is what marks you as chosen. You weren't selected randomly. You weren't picked because you're flawless. You were chosen because your spirit has the strength to handle the weight of this calling, the humility to continue learning, and the love to use your power for the benefit of others rather than domination over them. In the coming days, you're going to feel a shift that's difficult to describe. It's not dramatic. It's not loud, it's subtle, like the moment between night and dawn when everything is still dark. But you sense morning is coming. That's your internal atmosphere changing from preparation mode to activation mode. You're moving from becoming to being. You're transitioning from student to master. You're stepping fully into your blue power. When you feel this shift, and you will, honor it. Don't rush past it. Don't treat it as ordinary. Create a moment of recognition. Light a candle if that feels right. Say a prayer. Speak words of gratitude. Mark the moment somehow, because this is when your life divides into before and after. Before you understood your power, after you activated it. Before you lived from limitation, after you operated from limitlessness. The people who love you genuinely will notice something has changed, and they'll celebrate it. They'll feel relieved that you're finally stepping into your fullness. They'll recognize that this version of you is who you were always meant to be, and they'll honor your transformation. Hold these people close. These are your witnesses. These are the ones who saw you in the valley and are now seeing you on the mountain. These are the ones who believed in you even when you didn't believe in yourself. The people who only tolerated you conditionally will disappear quietly or loudly. Either way, they'll exit. Don't chase them. Don't try to prove yourself to them. Don't waste energy wondering why they couldn't handle your evolution. Some people are only meant to be in your life for a chapter, and their chapter is complete. Trying to force them to stay is like trying to keep winter from becoming spring. It's fighting against natural progression. As you walk forward from this moment, remember these final truths. Your blue power is not something you have, it's something you are. You can't lose it, but you can forget it. You can't be stripped of it, but you can neglect it. You can't be overpowered by it, but you can underutilize it. Your responsibility now is to remain conscious, remain connected, remain committed to operating from this truth consistently. When life gets difficult, and it will, don't abandon your power. Don't slip back into old patterns of reaction, anxiety, and doubt. Return to your center. Return to your breath. Return to that blue flame in your chest. Return to the knowing that you're divinely protected, divinely guided, divinely empowered. This isn't positive thinking. This is spiritual fact. When people disappoint you, and they will, don't close your heart. Don't build walls. Don't decide that everyone is untrustworthy. Maintain your discernment while keeping your heart open. Use your power to see people clearly without judging them harshly. Understand that everyone is operating at their current level of consciousness, and their level may be vastly different from yours. That doesn't make them evil. That makes them human. When opportunities present themselves, and they will, don't second-guess yourself into paralysis. Don't overthink until you talk yourself out of what your spirit already confirmed. Trust your first instinct, especially when it feels calm and certain. Fear will always create doubt. Faith creates clarity. Learn to distinguish between the voice of your worried mind and the voice of your knowing spirit. Everything you need for this journey is already within you. You're not searching for something outside yourself. You're uncovering what's been inside all along, buried under years of conditioning, trauma, and false beliefs about who you're supposed to be. Your blue power was there when you took your first breath. It will be there when you take your last. Everything in between is just remembering and reclaiming. This is your time, chosen one. This is your season. This is your activation. Everything you've survived prepared you for everything you're about to step into. The past is complete. The pain has served its purpose. The lessons have been learned. Now comes the application. Now comes the demonstration. Now comes the living proof that transformation is real, that divine power is accessible, that chosen ones do exist, and you are one of them. They asked for it. They tested you, they pushed you, they provoked you, they tried to break you, and in doing so they activated the very thing they feared. Your blue power is awake. Your blue power is active. Your blue power is unstoppable. And from this moment forward, you walk in its fullness, knowing exactly who you are, what you carry, and why you're here. If this message resonated with your soul, if you felt truth stirring within you, if you recognize yourself in these words, drop a comment below. Tell me which number has been appearing in your life. Share your activation experience. Let the universe know you're ready, because when chosen ones unite in consciousness, when we acknowledge our power collectively, when we stand together in our truth, we create a frequency shift that affects everyone and everything around us. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. More revelations are coming. More truth is being released. More activation messages are being prepared specifically for those who are ready to receive them. This is just the beginning. Your journey doesn't end here, it's just truly starting now. Share this message with another chosen one who needs to hear it. The divine guided you here for a reason. Perhaps you're meant to be the vessel that carries this truth to someone else who's ready for their own activation. Trust the impulse. Forward the message. Be the light that guides someone else out of their darkness and into their power. Your blue power is not your ending, it's your eternal beginning. Walk in it, live from it, breathe with it, create through it, love because of it, and watch as your entire reality reorganizes itself around this truth. You are chosen. You are powerful. You are protected. You are here for a reason. And that reason is revealing itself right now in this moment through these words, in your spirit. They asked for it, and heaven delivered. Now rise.